to another BrewBros episode. As we go into the holidays, I'm sure you guys are looking for some interesting brews, possibly gifts to other people, or just something for yourself that is a little bit out of the ordinary. We've tried a bunch of stuff. Typically it's packaged in kind of regular bottles, or maybe those like 20-something ounce bombers. But we have a pretty special beer today because we've lined up something that comes in its very own bottle.
It's time to go big or go home. Today we're going to be drinking the Christmas New Year Ale by Anchor Brewing. It's 7% alcohol, and let's give this a try.
So what Anchor Brewing has done is put their own unique spin on what's called a winter warmer. It's pretty similar to a stout or a porter, but just not quite as dark. And you can see that here. I mean, initial impressions, it looks just like a porter.
It definitely does. I mean, it gives you like that feel of a stout, but it's weird because it still is an ale though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it just comes down to how thoroughly they roast the malt before putting it in. That is what gives it that color. So if we were to put it side by side with the porter or stout, you would see the stouts being darker than this particular ale. But I gotta say, looking at it, it looks fantastic. Traditionally with other stouts, they have that chocolatey aroma that is pretty heavy when you're smelling it. This one, it's almost piney. It reminds me of a forest almost. It smells just like Christmas.
So why don't we give this a try?
Perfect.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Definitely does not taste like a stout.
Yeah, that's for sure. So they added a variety of spices in that. It's not quite as smooth as a typical stout is.
So a lot of the stouts that we've tried, normally a lot thicker than this one specifically. Mm-hmm. This one goes down a lot smoother, comparable to the other ones that we've had. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it is very delicious.
Yeah, and I can see why they didn't classify it as a stout. Is because typically with the stouts, it's a lot creamier than I think this beer comes across.
Definitely it is.
Mm-hmm. Much lighter body, much more spices in it that don't quite give it that chocolatey flavor that we typically associate these darker beers with.
So with that being said, what would you actually rate this beer?
Well, the beer itself I think is pretty good, but I think that they didn't employ the right strategy in doing such a large bottle. I guess if you were sharing it with a bunch of people come Christmas time, it'd be the perfect thing to bust out because it is pretty impressive. But if I were personally trying to drink this, I don't think I could kill a whole bottle like that.
I mean, that's why there's two of us. Might as well get double the trash.
Yeah, and so I think as a standalone beer, it does fit into that description we talked about, one and done. Mm-hmm. I think it tastes pretty good, but after one, it might get a bit too heavy for me personally. So with that, I'd give it a 6. Because I don't think that they employed the right strategy with it, and it's just not something I'm gonna bust out before anything else if I was trying to sit down and enjoy Christmas on my own. What about you?
So you give it a 6. I think it's okay. It's not too bad. I'd actually give this a 5 out of 10. It's really not my favorite. If you're trying to show off with everybody else, bring a big ass bottle like that and kind of be the center of attention, this is definitely the way to go. Mm-hmm. But just know, once you're done with this type of beer, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Don't want to drink this anymore.
Absolutely. I share that exact same sentiment. It is worth buying if you're trying to give presents to somebody simply because the presentation of this beer is so unique. It is standalone, a good bottle to get. It was $15 at Total Wine. And with that, a pretty good present for the holidays for any beer lovers out there because it is so unique. It's not a porter, it's not an ale, it's kind of right in the middle. And they did a pretty good job finding that sweet spot.
So, with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what else you want us to try, and we'll go from there.
And as always, thank you for watching and happy holidays.